Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So, the Syria map is among us, and it's from Ugra Media. If I remember correctly, I think these are the same guys that did the Normandy map. Anyways, this is the background that they give you with the Syria map. There's a Syria icon, the wallpaper is set. So far, I'm digging it. I think it's pretty kick-ass. I've had some fun with it, and I think it looks amazing. I'm really impressed with this map so far. There's a few things about it that I'm not impressed with, though. So, look at the awesome Viper on the wallpaper, the beautiful valleys with all the trees, right? Let's go to instant action and look at the content that we're given. So, for the A10 in the Syria map, nothing. I'm just going to cruise through these real quick. As I click them, the Syria map is highlighted. And, oh wait, F14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 missions for the Tomcat. Now, we all know I'm a Tomcat fanatic and absolutely love the Tomcat. It's by far the best module in DCS world, if you ask me. However, the flagship product for Eagle Dynamics is pretty much the Hornet, and it's closing in on the Viper as well. Those are their two babies, you could say. And the F-16 has absolutely no instant action missions, and it is used in the wallpaper. Really, guys? F5, nothing. F-86, nothing. Here comes the Hornet. Dun dun dun. Nothing. And then Flaming Cliffs almost always has a variety of missions for any of the maps. Nothing. Of course, I'm going to just cruise through these last few real quick. And as you see, I'm clicking them, and nothing is popping up. So the only content for the Syria map at present in the first round of early access is for the Tomcat. Kind of a bummer. But at the same time, kind of cool. I'm not even going to go there. I can go under missions, and there's nothing. So the only content that you get that's ready to go out of the box is for the Tomcat right now. But the cool part is there's some cool missions. So there's a super carrier version of this mission, 2 super carrier missions right here. And in general, these missions are pretty cool. So free flight, Lebanon and Syria. I like this one, and you're going to see why. Alrighty, here we are in the cockpit. So my first run through this, I had to ask myself, why would they pick such a dark environment to show off this map? And then after I got going, I realized, wait a minute. This is early morning. This is like dawn. So it gets better, guys. It really does. Alrighty, look at that. I gotta admit, that's pretty freaking impressive. Now, just as I'm getting airborne, it's starting to get a little bit lighter out. And I think they said that was Beirut Airport. And I've been flying around a little bit. In the daylight you can see it better, but that harbor is modeled down there where that building blew up. I was flying a helicopter at daylight mission over this area, and I was like, I looked off to my left and I was like, wow, that looks really familiar, and it didn't dawn on me at first. And then I was like, oh my god, that's the building. Like, they have that big building that was right next to where the building blew up that looks like it's halved, you know what I mean, like blown in half. And that building is down there too. Pretty crazy stuff, man. super unfortunate for the people of Beirut, and I'm not all like, glamorizing the event or anything like that. I'm just stating that, by the way, the terrain is, modeled so realistically that that building is there. And that whole area where all of that happened is modeled, ends right there. And I wouldn't have known that had I not seen it on the news, as many times as we did over the past few weeks. Now, as it starts to get light out, everything's starting to come in focus a little bit better, and it's looking pretty impressive. It's like the sun's starting to rise a little bit better. Things are starting to be a little bit more illuminated. Jump in the back seat and look around a little bit so I don't have to keep the plane steady. Let's let the AI pilot handle those tasks for a moment. So on one hand, I'm bummed out that there's no missions included for any other aircraft other than the Tomcat. On the other hand, you can use the mission editor, and I get it. I really do. But they couldn't have picked a better plane, that's for certain, to really highlight and showcase this. Although what I'm not liking, and I don't know if you guys are noticing this, but I'm noticing it, is I've been getting some pauses, and I really don't understand why. But it could be because it does look so damn good, and it's just a little bit too much. However, I'm running at 3840 by 1080 with pretty much all the details cranked up, and I do have an i9 9900K, 32 gigabytes of DDR4 memory, running off a 1 terabyte SSD and a 2080 Super GPU. So technically speaking, this is a high-end system, and I've not experienced any pauses in DCS outside of VR, that is, for a long time. So I'm not quite sure what is going on here and what's causing that, but I've definitely noticed it a few times on my few passes through this. But this scenery looks really impressive. I mean, this is, I hate to use such a, buzzword, but like, this really looks next gen for DCS, It really looks that good. Look at that stadium down there. Like, these cities are just amazing. I'm going to jump into the back seat again and let this dude handle the piloting so I can look around a little bit better. And now the sun is popping up a little bit more, and this is fantastic for helicopter operations. This is really going to be a lot of fun in a chopper. Outstanding. It just looks good. Really freaking good. I'm digging it. Jumping in the back seat again. Just look at all these valleys, man. It's pretty cool. And as the sun continues to rise, these clouds up here are going red. It's really pretty. So this is another one of the provided missions, and this one I'm taking off from an airfield somewhere in Turkey. Up and away. Gear up. Ready. Look at this. This is super impressive. Some really unique buildings and stuff too. They did their best to really capture the landmarks and the monuments. I jump in the back seat to look at these. Very impressive. Alrighty. Lastly, I wanted to jump in the Viper for a minute. Fly over Beirut and show you in the daytime what this looks like. This is that airfield I took off from in the beginning, in the first mission. It's funny, I'm not trying to haul ass through here, but I'm hauling ass through here. It's really hard to slow the Viper down. Maybe I'll cut some speed making these turns. So over here is that harbor that I recognized, and if you look right there is that building that now is like cut in half, and there's the building that blew up. So really crazy that they have this in here, that detailed, you know. And this is just a quick mission that I created to let me fly around some of the areas in here that I'm aware of. Yeah, so I'm not super familiar with Syria and everything that would be included in this region. That's why I kind of wish that, like, you know, hey Nick, hey Wags, I know you guys are watching this. Why don't you guys create a way, like in the mission editor, to have points of interest, kind of like what Microsoft Flight Simulator does. Just have little dots on the map that point people to, you know, the cooler parts of the map, that we can showcase the map a little bit better and fly over the cool landmarks and stuff. I think that would be really cool, and I think you guys can learn a lot from what Flight Simulator is doing at the moment. And I do like the POI stuff, the points of interest. That would be really cool in all of the maps in DCS, to be honest, because then that would be like, oh, there's a cool area that I should maybe create a mission over, you know, or somewhere that I would like to fly over, instead of like Googling stuff and trying to get a map up and then put it next to this map. It's just way too much work for the average person to do when you guys make this stuff, you know. Why not do something to make it a little bit better? And that's what you guys are missing all along, is the complete experience. You know, this is the coolest sandbox for modern combat aircraft, and even for the World War II stuff it's coming around, you know. But give us a little bit more, guys, you know. Give us something else to make this a little bit easier so we could create really cool and awesome looking mission areas, you know. Instead of letting us guess or, you know, exploring the map ourselves, you know. This whole sandbox thing's starting to get old. So, that's just my 2 cents on the topic. But I think the whole POI thing would be a great idea for DCS World on all of the maps that are out there. That way people would know where the cool places are to fly, and they can create their missions around those areas, you know. Alright guys. So, my final thoughts on my first impressions video for the Syria map by Ugra Media. I think it's freaking outstanding. I think they hit it out of the park. On one hand, I want to sit here and say it's the most beautiful map they've ever created for DCS World, but that would be taking away from the channel map, and the channel map really is impressive, and it's just an amazing work of art. And both of them are a step in the right direction for like the next generation of terrain for DCS World. I really do believe that. So, on one hand, I want to say that the Syria map is the best map. But on the other hand, I can't take away from the channel map, which is really amazing. And they're two very different areas, you know. The channel map is that England, France-ish kind of area, you know, where European terrain, and this is more of a Middle Eastern thing. But both amazing, both so different on so many levels, but both just completely outstanding. I love it, man. I do. I don't feel bad about my $35 purchase, you know, because I got it while it was on sale. What I don't like is the complete lack of content. I understand that this is early access, but come on, guys. The only reason this was pushed out the door was to, you know, capitalize on Microsoft Flight Simulator being released this week. I have to believe that, because the only content they've included in here is for the Tomcat. Not one other DCS plane has missions included. And again, I get it. DCS is a sandbox. There's a beautiful mission editor. You could create your own awesome missions. But I've been harping on this for the longest time, and I'm not going to change my stance on it. You know, as much money as we pay for this stuff, we should get more. We really should get more. Again, beautiful map, and I think it's worth every penny. And I know how to make some missions, so I can get in there and make some stuff for all the planes that I own. You know, for me, that's fine. And for a lot of people, the core DCS players probably aren't going to care that much about it. But like I said, they really keep missing the boat on the new guy and on the players that really want something for their money, too. That are the old school guys like me that are used to getting a boxed experience that hands you more than, here's a map, man. Go find something to do with it if you don't own a Tomcat. That's pretty much what you're telling me, Eagle Dynamics. Here, I'm going to put this awesome F-16 on the wallpaper, but guess what? Go make the mission for it if you want to fly it. I don't know, man. I think that's just shitty, you know? So as much as I love this map, and, you know, I think Ugra Media did a fantastic freaking job with it. It's beautiful. The constant lack of content and just handing people stuff and telling them go figure it out, that's the stuff I think that has to end. And we really need more. And we should expect more, because this stuff is a premium price, man. Compared to the other flight sims that are out there, this is his most expensive one out there. I don't know, man. That's just how I feel. I love DCS, and I love the Tomcat, and I love all the planes that I have, and I really enjoy this stuff, you know? But I really do feel like we just don't get enough for our money. So I'm going to leave it at that, guys. Fantastic map. Go get it, you know? I have nothing against it. But again, if you're new to it, and you're going to be making missions, because if you don't own the Tomcat, ain't shit for you to do. As always, thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. Feel free to hit that like button. And until next time, guys,